This is Practical Test 2007, and this is paper 3. It says you're working for a company called Root Trainer Trees, and you're going to perform some clerical tasks. All currency values should be in UK pounds with the pound sign visible. We'll leave this for now. We'll get to it when the questions ask us for it. The first question says, use a suitable software package. Load the file. Trees CSV. C is comma delimited file. So we go in here and we load trees CSV, and it's going to load in spreadsheets, in Excel spreadsheet, as you see, even though it's not an Excel spreadsheet file. Go back to the question. Second question says, the species column, use the lookup function to show the full name of the species. Use the code column for the lookup value and the file code CSV for the array. So we'll go and load up code CSV. Again, this one loads in spreadsheets. Here we got the code and we got the species. This is in code. So the code of the species is AL, the name of the species is ALDA, etc., etc. Now, in the tree file, we got the species here. We don't have the name. We have the code. So we're going to use a VLOOKUP function to look up the code, this one, in this table. This is a table. It looks up. If it finds it in here, and then it gives us the name, and it inserts it in here. So, the first thing we're going to do, we'll put the cursor in here, and we'll go insert, function, and here, if it doesn't find the VLOOKUP, you just type VLOOKUP in there, and you click go, and it finds it, click OK. Now, the value you want to look for is the code. That's the lookup value. So you click on the code, then you go to the table array. Where are you going to look this value in? You're going to look into the code table for it. So you're going to look into these columns. You're going to look for the code and then the name. Now in here, when it gets us all these values, it wants us to, you will have to say column number 2. We want the values of column number 2. As you see in here, this is column 1 and this is column 2. So if it finds AL, which is code 1, it returns column number 2. That's the value we want. And if it doesn't find it, we type false. That means we want exact match. We don't want something close to AL. We want exact match to AL in the code file here. We have to have exact match, else we will not allow it. Now, if we're done now with this, and if you have false, if you are in here, it tells you what it is you have to have. It explains it. What the range means. What does this mean? What does that mean? As you see, all of them are in here. So we're done in here. Let's click OK, and it finds all in the code. It compares AL code with the table in here, and it finds AL, and it returns the second column within the table, and it pastes it in here. As you see, this is VLOOKUP A7. This is A7, and it says where I want you to look up in the code CSV. This is code CSV, and give me A2, the range from A2 to B15. So we are looking from A2, this is A2 to B15. And if you find it, we want you to return the second column, which is the name, that's the second column, and that's the name. If you can't find it, I want you to give us false in here. Here would be written false if there is none. Now we could copy down this formula down to all of them. That should give us all the species names that we need. Now, we go to the questions in the species. Now, it says enter these values in the column. But before I do that, I want to explain one thing in here. This is a CSV file. Now, if I click Save, it's going to come with a message. It says, please may contain features that are not compatible with CSV, delimited. Do you want to keep the workbook in this format? It says that the one we opened was a CSV file, but we put these function in here. CSV file do not support it. Do you want do you want to keep the worksheet in this format? No, I do not want it. So you click no. To keep the format which leaves out an incompatible, click yes. To preserve the features, click no. Features are the ones we just inserted this VLOOKUP. So you click no, and then save a copy in the latest Excel format. So it's going to save it in Excel. We say no, and it's going to ask us, is this what you wanted? Do you see it's not CSV no more, and it is Excel worksheet. You click OK. Now it supports it. Now it is Excel sheet. It's not CSV no more. Pause now. Question 3. It says enter the following data into the model. pH, species, weighting, acid. This is the one that's in the form, so we go in here, we load our file, as you see, species and weighting. Let's minimize it so we could type it in here. So, pH is acid, we want species 0, we want the weighting to 1.27. Scroll down. For alkaline, we put 0.928. Next one. This one is the 1. Now, it says name the cell containing the acid 1.25 to acid. They want you to call this thing, instead of C2, we want to rename it and make it acid. So you go insert, name, and you click define, and we don't want weighting, we want it acid. You click OK. As you see, the name has changed to acid. The cell's name has changed to acid. If you click in here, you click back there, it's acid. You go to the next one. Insert, name, define. Here we're going to put alkaline. And you click OK. And as you see, the name has changed to alkaline. The last one, you go insert, and it wants it to neutral. So insert, name, define, and here, and you click OK. Now, these cells have been renamed from C2 to this one is acid, C3 is alkaline, and C3 is neutral. Next question. Format these cells to 1 decimal space. As you see, this is 2 decimal, this is 3 decimal space. So we're going to select them all, go format, cells, and here we click on number. The decimal points we want it to 1, and you click OK, and it has done it for us. It's 1 decimal point, 1 decimal point.